refreshingly modern in its sentiment and emotional grasp. This Greg is woke AF. He really captures and coalesces the zeitgeist of the moment. This painting speaks to my inner non-binary and speaks with the resounding strength of youth and our untapped potential. Yep, this Greg feller sure knows how to paint himself a purty picture. Woo-wee! Modern impressionism is sublime. And this here hombre gets it. Good job, dude. Well, you know, my name is Gregory, and I like to do drawings and paintings and cooking and music and tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. So here we go. I'm gonna add me some trees to the midground, so we'll make the obelisk just huge. We're talking porn star huge here. Know what I mean? As mentioned in earlier episodes, what I paint isn't nearly as important as where and how I paint what I paint. You dig? Living near Dallas, I tend not to describe rolling grassy hills as knolls. As a freedom-loving Texan, I will tell you, I get real nervous when I hear the term grassy knoll. But I'll be damned if that ain't exactly what that patch of grass in front of the trees is. A daggum grassy knoll. I don't want to spend too much time on the knoll that is grassy because, well, it's not the subject of this here painting. That big-ass obelisk is. So since that big ol' phallic object is near the rear end of the canvas, love is in the air. It ain't even springtime. But since that object is now in the rear of the canvas, come on, man, really? The phallic object's in the rear of the canvas? Seriously? Grow up. So immature. Anyway, I don't want the focus of the viewer to be caught up in the foreground or the midground. I want all the attention in the back. And so I put in small value changes for highlights and shadows so that it isn't too distracting, you know? Oh, so this is a cool trick. So in my studying, I have found that when other artists can tell how you painted something, it is not a good thing. Some would say it's even bad. So if, say, your mountains look like you used a palette knife, it's no bueno. So if your shrubberies look like you used a fan brush, it's no bueno. And if your trees look like you used a 1-inch brush, like I did, that's a no bueno. So to that end, I am using a 1-inch brush to get the leaves in, and then I'm going to come back with a filbert to add some detail that changes the overall look and patterns a single brush tends to develop. See? Doesn't that look lovely and non-distracting? It's kind of like the opposite of me. Not lovely and very distracting. It's true. So let's get back to the main subject. Now, a lot of people would start in the back and move forward, painting each layer on top of the other. You know, background, then midground, then foreground. As you can see, that isn't what I did. Why not, you may ask? Because I didn't think that far ahead, so back off! No, I kid. I am a kidder. I hate what I do. What's important here is, first, the sheer size of the Washington Monument. It dominates the landscape, dwarfing everything around. To give some indication of that, the trees help to give the impression of just how massive that stiffy is. And if that ain't enough, I'm about to put an S-ton of flagpoles up. Now, everybody knows flagpoles are really tall. So seeing how small the flagpoles are, and by extension the flags that fly from them, will help to develop the idea of the massive monument. Getting the flagpoles right requires me to know what the perspective would be. The trees, where they are super important too, because we can see the tops of the trees, and everybody knows catfish ain't got no scales. Everybody knows cotton comes in bales, and damn near everybody knows trees is taller than most males.
Everybody knows.
If the top was missing, no indication of height would be readily accessible. As such, the scale would be all off. So I chose to do the background foist, followed by the mid and foreground, then back to the background. So I really need to get the height of the pole's uniform and the spacing right. To do that, man, I gotta change my perspective on shit, brother. Know what I mean? Best way to do that? Turn the damn canvas upside down. It's amazing what that can do for how you see the composition. Weak presentations become easier to spot. The reasons why are cool, but not important. Getting this painting right is. To wit, let me just whip out my big measuring stick and make sure the poles are uniform so I can stroke them softly with my brush. You know, I would like to point out that the opportunity to make dick jokes have presented themselves with no encouragement from me whatsoever. But I didn't do it. I didn't go there. I took the high road. Even though the monument totally reminds me of
a nice big